Steaky, everyone, and welcome to Thursday, May 30th, 2024. I'm Joe Pratt, keeping you informed of what's happening in the world. Happy birthday if it's yours today. You share a birthday with Karen Drott, Sven Eklund, Mel Blanc, Benny Goodman, Gail Sayers, and Winona Judd. When I started the preparation for this podcast, the jury in the Trump trial was still deliberating. We just got word a few moments ago that the jury has found Trump guilty on all 34 counts of falsifying financial records. There are already clashes outside the courtroom as supporters and critics are protesting and getting into skirmishes and fights. This case and this verdict is very divided as critics have shown jubilation and ecstasy, and supporters of Trump have shown anger and frustration. High-profile lawyers have weighed in on this and given their opinion on it, being a travesty and a sham, or being justice served. Trump will almost certainly appeal the verdict, so we will hear about this later. Trump will not be sentenced until July 11th. North Korea is sending balloons carrying trash over to South Korea. The balloons are carrying manure, expired batteries, and other debris. South Korea hasn't decided how to respond yet. There's a battle going on over the price of a Big Mac. Apparently, there was a post on X about the cost of a Big Mac meal being $18 in Connecticut, and that prices have doubled since 2019. McDonald's replied the prices haven't doubled since 2019, but Big Macs have gone up 20% since 2019, and fries have gone up 44%. McDonald's also said that they don't set the prices for franchisees, but allow them to set their own prices, and that the $18 in Connecticut is an exception. McDonald's store traffic has slowed down the first 3 months of this year. In a related story, Walgreens has announced it will lower prices on over 1,300 products it carries to help customers during this time of inflation. All of the 99 cents only stores will be closing or have already closed. 99 cents only had 371 locations across the country. Dollar Tree will be moving into some of those locations, but not all. In sports, NBA, Game 5 of the series between Minnesota and Dallas tonight in Minnesota. Dallas is up 3-1 in the series. And in baseball, all of the records and statistics from the old Negro leagues will be included in the record books. So Ty Cobb is no longer the leader in batting average. It is Josh Gibson. A high school teacher in Tennessee created an interesting sociology assignment for his students. He wanted the class to do an experiment on profiling, how you can build a picture of someone based only on known facts and no other details. So for the basis of their experiment, the students started looking at a series of murders in their area for about 14 years, between the years of 1978 and 1992. There were 11 victims murdered during that time. After their research and profiling, they were able to determine that it was likely a white, male, heterosexual with long hair in his late 30s or early 40s. They held a press conference to announce their findings. And after the press conference, calls started coming in from people saying they think they know who the killer is, or who the killer was. Further investigation and some DNA evidence indeed revealed that they had found the killer. And it turns out that he had died in prison in 2015 after being arrested for an attempted murder charge. The woman he assaulted had survived the attack. The students had solved the murders. The police were a little indignant or embarrassed that they hadn't been able to solve the murders, but they were glad that the cases were closed. Here's an idea that's been around for a few years but is gaining more traction. It's called a library of things, or LOT. Instead of checking out or renting books, you rent things. Now, I know there are rental places all over the world, but this is a little bit different. because of the sheer numbers of things available and how long you can rent them for. Instead of just tools, you can also rent baby clothes for a few weeks or months, air fryers, camera equipment, sports equipment, kitchen appliances, beach supplies, pet supplies, musical instruments, toys, just about anything that you will only need for a short time. The idea is that instead of buying something you will only use once or twice and then throwing it away and ending up in the landfill somewhere, just rent it for a time and then give it back for someone else to rent. 911 gets all kinds of calls. The vast majority are bona fide emergencies, but some are not. You decide on this one. A 25-year-old named Chris from Boston, Massachusetts called 911, and the operator couldn't quite decide if he was in trouble or depressed or what. The two officers who responded to the call weren't sure if it was a joke, but it started to become clear when the caller mentioned that no one was around to help him celebrate his birthday. The caller was a special needs individual. The two officers went to the store and got some muffins and candles and showed up at his door and had a small celebration and birthday party. And when it was over, Chris was all smiles and hugged the officers and said simply, "This is more than I could have asked for." Joe Pratt, make it a great day.